Hello and welcome everyone. This is Faye from Faye Fitness here. Today I'm going to show you how to make these chicken thighs with broccoli, carrots, and onion in a crock pot. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, stay tuned. So for this recipe, here are the ingredients we're going to be using. I'm going to use about a cup of chopped broccoli, an entire onion, a cup of chopped carrots, 4 chicken drumsticks, probably about half a cup of this Korean barbecue sauce, just because I'm lazy and don't feel like making my own today. Probably just 2 or 3 tablespoons of grapeseed oil, probably 1 to 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds just to taste, because I really like sesame seeds. And that is it. It is important to note that this is a 2-quart crock pot, but this brand is actually the second one that I've used. The first one that I bought just died. The second time I tried to use it, like the heating element just stopped working. So if you're in the market for a new crock pot, I don't think I could safely recommend this version. I went ahead and saved the box for you guys. A, to show you, and B, just in case this one dies on the second use as well. So while I love this 2-quart small size just for my hubby and myself, I don't know if this brand is really all that great. So you might want to keep that in mind when you are out looking for crock pots. Oh, and I almost forgot. I have a 1/4 cup of water here, just in case I might need it. So let's get chopping, guys. So this is approximately what 1 cup of broccoli and 1 cup of carrots is going to look like. I'm kind of a lazy cook, if you haven't picked up on that by now, and I just like to eyeball things. So I'm going to go ahead and start by chopping these carrots and just popping them in the base of the crock pot. I'm not going to cut these very small, just because I kind of want them to be more like bite-sized pieces that can be enjoyed on their own. So I'm going to try to leave my pieces about this size. You can do larger pieces or smaller, depending on your taste, and just your preferences in the kitchen as a cook. So just chop these up. Oh, and I should mention that I already washed all of these items, so do with that what you will. If you want to as well, that's great. If that's not really your thing, then don't worry about it. Alright. And so the little ends of the carrots here, I have a pet rabbit, so I'm going to save those for her so she can enjoy those. But if you have a compost bin, or maybe, I don't know, you like them, you could eat them. I guess throwing them out's always an option, but that's just always seemed really wasteful to me. But again, it's your kitchen, it's your style, do with it what you will. For the broccoli, again, I'm just going to leave these as kind of larger, bite-sized pieces that can be enjoyed on their own. I'm trying to teach myself to like broccoli. I went for years and years and did not like it, but it's such an amazing powerhouse of just vitamins, minerals, and all that good stuff that we should be eating. I just don't. So a friend of mine has finally convinced me to give broccoli another go. Alright. So again, I'm just chopping off the base here. I'm going to save that for the bun. She is very happy whenever I cook meals like this, because she always gets goodies. Alright. And the great thing about leaving these in rather larger pieces is it doesn't take that long to chop. So that's awesome. Okay. So now I'm actually going to leave this and set it aside to put it on top once I get my chicken legs in here. So, because I don't like touching them with my hands, I'm just going to grab some tongs, pop them in here, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm glad we had this little learning experience. I've placed all my chicken in, and as you can see, things are rather full in here. So let's take a time out and think about this. I'm only going to use half an onion now, and I'm just going to slice it up, and the rest of this broccoli will either be a treat that Natsu and I share, my pet bunny, or I will saute this up and put it in another dish. So please keep that in mind if you are following along at home, that a 2-quart crock pot perhaps isn't as large as I originally thought. So I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and take the skin off this onion here. And like I said, I'm just going to slice this bad boy up so that way, I have a little bit more control over how much stuff I'm putting in here. And by slicing, since I've cut them in half, I'm just going to go boop, 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 boop. Obviously not on my thumb, but... So, I apologize that this video wasn't as professional as I thought it was going to be. Misjudging the size of your crock pot does seem like an amateur mistake. So, please forgive me, and just note that if this crock pot does last past a second usage, that I will know that for future reference, and we won't have this oopsie again. So I'm just going to pop those on top, dry my hands, and then now we get to the fun part. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 1/4 cup of water, just because I have this fear of all my ingredients sticking to the bottom of the container and making a huge mess. Then I'm going to add my 2 to 3 tablespoons of grapeseed oil. And again, I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm going to add some sesame seeds. I just got these from my local grocery store. They were super easy to find and really cheap. Plus, I got a ton of them. I don't know if I'm ever going to use all of this. Just sprinkle these on top. And really, maybe I could have fit this in here and just crammed it all in, but I'm not feeling that adventurous today. So now I'm going to take my, what is this stuff? Korean barbecue. Pour about a 1/4 cup on top. And again, I just got this from my local grocery store. Really easy peasy. Pop it on top. Put our lid on. And then, just for safety's sake, I always plug things in last. So I'm going to turn this little guy on high, leave him for about 4 hours, and then we'll come back and check on our progress. So, I will talk to you all in just a second then. It's been about 5 hours now, and as you can see, we've got some nice bubbling going on inside the crock pot, and this chicken bone, or chicken leg, has cooked well enough that the meat is starting to pull away from the bone. So that's a really good sign. So things are looking well. My hubby and I aren't quite ready to eat this, so I'm gonna pop it on low, and then we'll just come on back and finish the video when it's dinner time. So I'll talk to you in a bit. This is the finished product, guys. This is what the chicken and the vegetables that we cooked will look like when everything is said and done. I'd say overall this took 7 hours on high and then 2 hours on low, just until we were ready to eat it. And we've already eaten some, and it's amazing, so I highly recommend this. Here's what everything else will look like. Yeah, so please like and subscribe to get more videos like this in the future. And if you have any questions, please post them down below. Otherwise, I will see you next time.